Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another video. As usual, I am on here every Sunday, sharing messages of guidance, sharing messages of support, and just sharing insight and wisdom to help you look at life through a somewhat different lens as you continue to move through your journey of transformation, discovery, exploration, etc., etc. So, again, there are big changes that are taking place in the world. Big, big, big changes. And again, we do not really comprehend what these changes are leading to. But what is certain is that there is a coming together of the physical and the spiritual realms. The veil between these two worlds are at their absolute thinnest at this time, and they will continue to get thinner and thinner because many of you might have heard of us moving from the third dimension into the fifth dimension, but many people forget that in order to move from this 3D physical dense reality to move into the fifth dimension, which is closer to the spiritual realm, we have to move through the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension is connected to our emotions. And unfortunately, society, our programming, the way we have been taught to look at the world, we have essentially been taught to negate our emotions. We have been taught that emotions are weak, but most people don't realize that it is through our emotions that we are able to tap into our intuitive abilities. If we cannot connect to our emotions, because our emotions are very much connected to our sacral chakra and very much connected to our ability to feel. The thing is, in this 3D reality, the reason why this world is the way it currently stands is because we have been looking at everything through a lens of logical masculine energy. And so when we take the feeling out of things and we're only focusing on logics and analytics and data and not taking into account the data that we can pick up on when we are feeling, when we are in our intuition, and think about it this way, is that think of all the things that you cannot tangibly see, but you're picking up through all of your different senses. And so, as we are moving more towards feminine energy, and again, this is not about gender, this is simply about the different types of energies that exist. Masculine is more square, is more rigid, is more practical, whereas feminine energy is more circular, it is more about creativity, intuition, it is softer energy. So we are moving away from a very masculine energy, which is essentially what our system has been constructed on, and we are moving towards a more um, feminine energies. And basically, this is where, as we move more towards these feminine energies, there is going to be an emphasis on things that are more of the feminine energy, such as art and beauty and intuition and feeling good and softness and tenderness and kindness. And so, as we move more into these feminine energies, we are moving through a time of great, great healing. And this healing is happening very much on an individual level as it is happening on a collective level. Because the more we heal ourselves individually, the more the collective heals naturally. Because as we heal, we're moving from a lower state of vibration, 3D, into a higher state of dimension, 5D. But the only way that we can get there, the only way we can start to really connect with who we are and to know, because remember, beautiful souls, we are soul beings having a human experience. And all of you who are present in this life at this time, it is for one, because your soul chose to be here, but two, because there is an evolution that is happening both on the physical realm and the spiritual realm at the same time. And essentially, we came to bridge the gap between the physical 3D realm and the spiritual, the 5D realm, and meet in the middle at the 4D. We have to go through a time of healing. And the more we heal, and essentially what healing is letting go of those lower dense energies. It is going back and healing the wounds that we have experienced through our lives. Now, these are wounds that were created by childhood trauma. These were wounds that were created because of generational trauma that has been unconsciously passed on. But this is also the trauma that we experience because of the backwardness of the society that we are currently living in. And so, again, we are being asked to go inwards and to heal the aspects of ourselves that created our shadow aspects, because essentially it is when we are operating from a place of wounding, right? They say hurt people hurt people. So when we continue to be hurt, when we are even unaware and not willing to honor the pain and the wounding that we have experienced, then we are operating from a place of unhealed wounding. And the thing is, we operate from a place of reaction as a place of response. We get triggered by things that people do or say or what is happening in the outside world because it is our wound that continues to be unhealed, which is triggering. And the triggering serves to show us that there is something that is not in alignment and something that needs to be healed. And so humanity is going through a period of deep healing. And 2023, the year of 7, has been the year of truth, but also the year of spirituality, where more and more people have started awakening to the truth of who they are, which is a soul being having a human experience. And why have we needed to wake up to this truth and to start tapping into who we are at the higher level, our soul self, is because this has been in preparation for 2024. And 2024 is 8 energy. And 8 energy, 8 is also infinity. 8 is about the infinite possibilities, but 8 is also about power. And not the power that our leaders have been demonstrating to us and showing us that true power comes from supposedly pushing people down and standing on top of people to get up to the top. Not that power, the inner power. The inner power that resides within our soul when we know who we are. We can tap into that power, because remember, when we don't know who we are, our power can be used and manipulated against us. So we have had to awaken to who we are. We have had to awaken. We have to see our wounds so that we can heal them, so that we can see how our wounds have created a persona that is not really us. It is our wounded persona. But who are we under the mask of that pain? Who are we when we start to peel back the layers of all that pain that we have experienced, but because we didn't have the space nor the opportunity to heal it? Because once we start to heal, we start to know ourselves in a way that we didn't even know was possible. We start to tap into our power, but we also start to discover abilities that we didn't know we had. And so this is what the journey of healing is. It is a journey of healing and transformation. It is healing the wounds of your 3D physical reality so that you can move into the spiritual realm, and you can start, because remember, we are multi-dimensional beings, and we are multifaceted, and we exist in multiple dimensions at the same time. Think about when you're daydreaming, or think about where you go when you're dreaming at night. This is a different dimension. But once you start to know yourself really, really well, once you start to really comprehend who you are and why you do the things you do, you can start to change them. And you can start to shift yourself, and you can start to literally create your own reality. You can become the person that you were meant to be, the person who you really are, but the person that you weren't allowed to be because of the wounding. And the wounding that you experience is because your light shone so bright that you freaked people out. You scared people. And the thing is, people, remember, most of us are operating from our conscious mind, but where the true wisdom and knowledge is in the subconscious. But we have to be able to peel away, we have to reprogram our minds. And as we reprogram our minds, we start to see the world differently. We start to see the world differently. We start to see ourselves differently so that we can show up in the world a different way, so that we can literally access things. Because when we shift the spiritual, when we shift the non-physical reality, it is easier to shift the physical reality. If you watch the movie Matrix, when the kid is bending the spoon, he tells Neo, don't try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Yes, because what does he do is he shifts the space around the spoon. The only way that this physical dense reality can shift is by changing the higher dimensions, changing our emotions, changing our thoughts, because our thoughts and our emotions are completely interconnected, whether we are aware of it or not, and they are impacting our physical life. So if you want to change your physical life, you have to change your thoughts, your mindset, and your emotions. And if there's something that you want help with, then you can check out my website down below. This is what we do. My sister and I, we have a business together. We act as your spiritual concierge, where we walk alongside you and help you to move through this journey. We help you to see what you cannot see, because we don't know what we don't know. Sometimes we need someone else to come and shine a torch and show us what we don't know. But this is also why life challenges us, and life puts us in difficult situations so that we can see what we didn't know before. So all these difficult experiences that you have been having in 2023, and I know that this is something that everybody has been experiencing. 2023 has been a year of great challenges, and it has been a year of test. We have been tested to see how far we can go, because this is about growth and expansion and evolution. But not only our physical being is expanding and evolving, but our soul being is also evolving and expanding. We are moving into the next phase of evolution. And if we are unwilling to move alongside with it, then we will be left behind. That is what is happening. So you can either ride the wave as you comprehend how to tune into this new energy and how to use it in a way that benefits you. But the thing is, because the previous world, this world that we have been living in for such a long time, has told us that there is such limitations in terms of what we can have and who we can be. But now these energies, as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius energy is all about expansion, and it's all about the new. It's all about different things. It's about everything. Right now, we've all been living in a box, but we're being asked to go outside the box, right? What is all of this space outside? The box is masculine, but everything outside is feminine. So we are being asked to step outside of the box so that we can do things differently, because everything has just been the same, the same, the same. I mean, if you think about it, not much has changed in the past 100 years. I mean, yeah, okay, if we look at AI in that sense, but it seems that everything else on every other level seems to have remained stagnant. Yeah, okay, we can talk about improvements in the medical field, but the fact that so many people are still getting diabetes and cancer are at higher levels than they've ever been before, these are lifestyle issues. And we have to stop giving our power away and expecting all these external things to lead us and to govern us. We have to know for ourselves, first and foremost, what is it that we desire? Because most people haven't even given themselves the opportunity to even ask themselves that. And think about it. If money were no option, if you were free to do whatever you wanted to do, what would you do? Because essentially, remember, 2024 is the year of infinite possibilities. All the things that we thought were impossible, yes, maybe they were impossible under the energies of this current system, but where we're going, there are new opportunities, there are new possibilities, things you didn't even think were possible. And this is why we have been asked to step outside of our box. But the reason we are scared to step outside of our box is because it's our safety net, right? When we're wounded, we don't fully put ourselves out there, right? Why is it that some people are less confident than others? And think about it this way: the people who succeed, they're fucking confident. They believe in themselves so deeply, right? But the reason why not every other human being out there is confident, because confidence is a natural state of who we are. When you know who you are naturally confident. And I can tell you this, I used to be the most unconfident person. I never would have been able to come up here and put myself out there. I used to be like, who the fuck gives a shit about what I have to say? Who am I? What is irrelevant? Who cares? Who am I? We put ourselves down. But why do we put ourselves down? Because we have been wounded. So when we start to heal, and this is the thing, like, healing is so underrated. And the thing is, until we start healing, because this is not something that you can write and describe, it is a feeling. It is literally a new state of being. And you cannot put it into words until you have experienced it. It's like trying to describe the color red to a blind person. You can't. And when we heal our wounds And when we start to put ourselves first, and when we change the way we think, and we start looking at all the possibilities instead of constantly putting ourselves down and saying how we're not good enough, we're not enough, we're not good enough, intelligent enough, smart enough, beautiful enough, intelligent enough, whatever, all those things that we say to ourselves, all those things that we put ourselves down, this is because of the wounding. This is because you don't know who you really are, because you were not given an opportunity to be your true self. And remember, right? We are soul beings having a human experience. Our souls never die. We have been incarnated. We have lived for thousands, millions of years. And maybe not everybody has incarnated in human form before, but those of you here, you're ancient souls. You have deep wisdom, and you are here to guide humanity. You have access to the higher realms of wisdom. It's just, intuition is like a muscle. It needs to be trained. And so far, we have been told it's all nonsense, this intuitive stuff, this emotional stuff, this intuitive stuff. It's all weakness. But yet, why is it that now, in the biggest chaos, trials, and tribulations that humanity has ever faced, the people who seem to be the calmest are the ones who are in touch with their emotions and their intuitive abilities, because they are able to tune into something higher. They are able to see that there is something bigger, something so much bigger than us as human beings that is going on. Why do you think there is so much activities in the skies? Everyone's talking about UFOs and, all kinds of things in the sky, all these lights, so much UFO activity. Why? Because first of all, to think that we are alone in this whole galaxy just shows how egoistic and small-minded we are as human beings. We are being asked to open up our minds, be expansive. Everything that we have been taught is impossible is so possible. The truth, why is it, right, that we have no information as to what was going on in Africa before the slave trade? What was going on? Why is it that all this history has somehow been eradicated? Somehow, no one really knows. Well, the reason that no one really knows is because this history has been hidden from us. It's been hidden from us because it will show us the true reality of who we are. As Africa starts to remember, as her people begin to remember who they really are and the strength that is inside of them and the powers of the ancestors that they are connected to, things will shift so fast. And this is why now at this period in our history, it is Afrocentric time, where Africans will be given the opportunity to tell their own stories, where we have had enough of other people coming and telling our stories and changing the story because they don't really comprehend, because at the end of the day, the Africans are the most spiritual of all. It is so ingrained in who they are. And the more we are given the opportunity to remember that we are souls first, humans seconds, we will start to tap into a power that has not been seen for a very long time. But magic is coming back and reawakening on this planet. And the more we are able to recognize our power, recognize our magic, recognize and honor the power that resides inside of us and the abilities that lay dormant inside of us, the more we remember this, the more infinite possibilities will continue to become available to you. So trust in this process. So a little bit of context before we pull the cards. So first card, so interesting. I've used five, five, sorry. Something my mind went a bit weird there. So five different decks of cards, and interesting, for the four cards that I pulled, the numerology goes from 4 to 3 to 5 to 4. And so this is really about mastering. We have mastered, I think maybe that's not the right word to use, but we are aware of the physical reality. But when we open ourselves up to comprehend that our emotions, right, our thoughts, something that is not tangible, is what is affecting this tangible world. When we go even higher up and realize that our soul is what is controlling the show, and when we give our soul the opportunity to be in control, when we trust this higher power and this higher knowledge, suddenly our whole reality changes. So the first card we have with 4 is co-create. Yes, beautiful souls. We are being given the opportunity to co-create the reality that we desire. Because as this system is falling, a new system is being put into place. But we the people, right? Because the system that has been in existence for so long has not been controlled by we the people. It has been controlled by a very, very small, the 1% controlling. How is it that such a small group of people have managed to control essentially the whole fucking world? How is this possible? 8 billion people on this planet, and yet they are controlled by such a small minority. We are being asked to take control of our power once again and co-create as humanity, come together to create something that is of value to the larger collective. We have to stop being so egotistic. But the egoism serves as a form of protection. It protects us because of our wounds. Because if we are unwilling to see our own wounds and be vulnerable, because at the end of the day, everyone has experienced pain. Everyone has experienced hurt. If we learnt how to be more compassionate towards ourselves and extend that compassion out to others, think about where we would be. We just all have to learn to be kinder. Everyone is facing a battle. Everyone is going through shit. Everyone is experiencing this transformation. There is no human being on this planet who is not being affected by these shifts in some way or another. So this is our opportunity to come together and to decide what we want as we, the people. What do we want? Or are we going to continue to be manipulated and controlled by people who do not have our best interest at heart? Where are we going? We are the ones to decide where we are going. So interesting, that's the 4, right? As we tap into our emotions, we are able to co-create with spirit when we know what we desire, when we are able to tune into our heart, get out of the mind and into the heart. When we are able to tune into our heart and create something that is beautiful, something that is created from love as opposed to created from fear of this narrative that is being pushed where everything is so doom and gloom. Okay, yeah, there's some doom and gloom happening, but right, for something new to come, something has to fall. But yes, we have to go through a period of mourning as we slowly let go of what is as what is being put to rest. We are welcoming in the new you, the new us, the new version of us, right? Interesting, we have between worlds with the 3 in the 3rd dimension. We are straddling between the old world in the darkness and moving into the new world where you see how our colors can fully shine. We've been living in black and white. Look how dull this is. We are being asked to pop. Let the colors pop. Let your light shine through. So the reason why it's uncomfortable is because we're still in the old world. We're tuning into the new world, but we're not fully out of the old world and we're not fully into the new world. That is the energy of what 2023 has been about. We're glimpsing what the new world looks like as the old world crumbles. So yes, it will be uncomfortable, but the more you trust, the more you heal, the more you forgive, the more you find love, the more you embrace yourself in all your wholeness, and do not be afraid to look at the parts of you that make you uncomfortable, because that is where the healing is needed. And you are not alone in this journey. Millions of us are going through this journey, whether we are aware of it or not. We are transitioning. Now, we can be the ones to actively choose where we want to be in this transition. So as we move into the 5, truth, truth be told, right? Look at how his heart is opening. The owl is all about wisdom, right? As we open up to our heart, we become wise. We open ourselves up to new possibilities. And look at the mask. As we learn the truth about ourselves, about who we really are, the mask can come off. The mask comes off and we can tune into the portal of our heart where we are now co-creating with love as opposed to creating out of fear. How many people make decisions because they're scared? Oh, I'm going to take that job because I won't have a paycheck. Let me tell you, it might seem so counterintuitive. When I did the first time in my life when I didn't have a job and I was just like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm so tired of being employed by people who treat me like shit, that pay me little money and don't listen to don't value what I have to say. When I quit my job, and for the first time in my life, I didn't have a job. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. And this happened in the height of COVID, where it was sure that I was not going to get another job. But somehow, when I said, you know what, I give up. I trust that something higher than me, because I'm tuning into my heart and what makes me joyful, what makes me happy, what makes me feel good. I'm going to surrender to that feeling and I'm going to trust that I'm going to be led there. And I quit my job and things changed in a way that I never thought would have been possible. Never would have thought would have been possible. I used to live paycheck to paycheck, right? Working hours for a shitty salary. Not really even having money to go on holiday, to suddenly, in that same year, when I quit my job, I was able to buy a house, start my own company, do my dream job, and allow and invest in other people so that they too can build their dream life. So what I'm telling you is that when we heal and we learn to tap into our higher power, right? And again, we go into 4, right? 4, our intuitive state. When we learn to tap into our higher power and we learn to tune into that's something that is so much bigger than us, the impossible becomes possible. And you don't need to question how. Just focus on what is it that you desire, and not in the physical. What is it that you desire to feel? This is what manifestation is all about, right? It's not about attracting something physical. It's about attracting the things that make you feel a certain way. So if you want to learn more about why your manifestation isn't working, check out my podcast link down below. I've included a link to that episode. But when you tune into your higher power and you believe that you are deserving of what you desire, you don't have to worry about the high. Leave the how to your higher power. Leave your how to God. Leave your how to the universe, the angels, to whatever that energy is that you tune into. Allow that power, because that power created all that is. You don't have to do anything. When you trust that that power has your back and has your best interest at heart, because you simply have to trust. You simply have to have trust in order for that connection to be anchored. Because, right, ask and you shall receive. But if you don't trust that you will receive, if you don't trust that you are enough, that you are deserving to receive, then you will not receive, right? We have to get out of our own box. We create a box around ourselves. We are being given the opportunity to step out of that box. The next card we have is full moon in Aquarius. Yes, we're really anchoring in this Aquarius energy. Show the world the real you. Yes. Who are you beneath the mask of your pain and trauma? Who are you really? Who have you been hiding? right? Who are you behind closed doors that people haven't been given the opportunity to see, right? Because those things that you feel shame about are the things that you came here to share in this lifetime, right? I used to be so ashamed of telling people from my old life, oh yeah, now I'm a psychic medium. I used to be a person who didn't believe in any of this stuff. I didn't believe in any of it. I was the kind of person who was like, what you see is what you get. It's been a journey for me to move from that physical world to move and to believe that there was something bigger than me, bigger than what I could see in my physical reality. But when we are not afraid to step outside of the box, and when we say, you know what, I don't give a shit about what people are going to say, because at the end of the day, I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. And when you allow yourself to show the world the real you will also be happier. The reason you are not happy is because you have been wearing a mask. You have been not allowing yourself to be your most authentic self. You have not, because you have not been at your, you have not been allowing yourself to see who you really are. You have not allowed others to see who you really are either. But now it's time to open that window, right? Open our heart so that we can see who we really are. Nothing is yet set in stone. Yes, right? You are not. You know, we're told that the older we get, the less we can change. It's fucking bullshit. Absolute nonsense. Neuroplasticity means that at any point in time, we can change who we are. We can literally become a whole new person. We can literally start something new at any age. My dad, when he was 90 years old, he became a published author. 90 years old, right? This showed me that at no matter what age, anything is possible. As long as you want it and you're willing to take the steps. And if this is in line with these energies of allowing the collective to move forward, and even the way you allow the collective to move forward is if you are in your highest vibration, if you are in joy and happiness and love, then think about how you're contributing to the energies of the collective. You're lifting people. Yes, adjustments are required. Yeah, you're not happy or you're lost or you're lacking a sense of purpose. Why? Because you're not being the real you. Again, if you want help shedding light on who the real you is, check out our website down below. You don't have to do this alone. I know this journey can be difficult. It can be hard. You don't have to do it alone. That is the beauty of where we are moving. There are people out there. Those of us who were there before, we had to do it alone. Now, there's so much help available to you. So don't be afraid to ask for help. North Node, yes. Step out of your comfort zone. So the North Node in astrology, all this purple, this is all about third eye awakening. I like to call it the first eye, really, because we are first spiritual, then human. You're seeing with your first eye. You're able to see beyond the surface, to see beyond the veil of illusion. You are waking up. And that is that, when we're in our comfort zone, we get comfortable, we get used to it, but it's time to step out. The North Node in astrology shows us what are the main lessons our soul came here to learn, because the reason our soul chooses to be incarnated here is so our soul can learn certain things, is so that we can receive new information, we can embody this new knowledge. So, right? When we get stuck in our comfort zone, remember the only constant is change. The only thing that we can rely on is that change is happening all the time. The more comfortable we get with change and initiating change for ourselves, constantly growing, constantly expanding, constantly evolving, the more we will settle into these energies, right? Masculine energy is we keep going in the same corners but circular. Feminine energy, it's just never ending. So many opportunities, right? We have the infinity sign of the 8. It's all about inner power, inner strength, your power to get things done. 8 energy is about solar plexus energy. You trust in your abilities to get things done. But you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to make certain adjustments. The reason you are not where you need to be is because some adjustments are required. These adjustments are the healing of your wounds. The next card we have is Selkie. Come out of hiding. Embrace who you really are. Yes, the world is ready for you now. The world needs these people who are different. The world needs those of us who have access to higher abilities, right? Superpowers are coming online. Dormant strands of DNA are being activated. We're moving in a direction that we thought were only possible in the movies. The things that are coming are beyond words because we are moving into a direction that is very, very new. The next card we have is Lady of the Lake, new beginnings. Something is about to happen. And it's interesting because if I look at the cards, I always read the cards horizontally, but if I look at it vertically, you have between worlds. Nothing is yet set in stone. New beginnings. Something is about to happen. Yes, you are evolving. You are changing. As you change, new opportunities come in. You become aware of new facets of who you are. New things that you couldn't see before become available to you. There is major change happening at this time. Something is about to happen. Yes, get prepared. We are being prepared for this something. And this something, don't tune into the nonsense of what this mainstream narrative is selling us, that it's all doom and gloom and the world is coming to an end. Yes, the world is coming to an end. The world that we used to know. The world where we were in lack mentality. The world where there is so much suffering and so much hate. The world where we do not help one another. That world is coming to an end. And the people who continue to tune into those kinds of energies, they are dying along with it. We are being given or gifted the opportunity to move into a frequency that is more beneficial for us individually as well as collectively. Are you going to move there or are you going to get left behind? Because you have the choice. You have the freedom to decide. Do you want to stay in this dark, dull space, or are you ready to move into the light? This is your choice. So the next card we have is the Mist. Trust your inner compass. Be led from within. Yes, this is all about trusting your intuition, trusting your connection to God, trusting your connection to the universe, trusting your connection to your higher power or a higher power, trusting that there is something so much bigger that is at play here. And we can either ask for help and guidance and they will take us along with them. If you look to the sky, many, many cloaked ships. There is a lot of activity going on in our skies. Beings of higher consciousness are here to assist us because as humanity, when we are in our light, we are beautiful and capable of so much. But because of the pain that we have experienced as a result of the way the system has been set up, we have created things of darkness. And this darkness must be shed into the light because the darkness that is created by the darkness inside of us. So beings of higher conscious and higher intelligence are here to guide us and here to download information into us so that we can transition and move into these new frequencies. Because we cannot move into these new frequencies with hatred and shame and guilt and all these low vibrational emotions that are still sitting inside of us because of the pain that we endured, the pain that we have experienced, the pain that was passed on to us from our ancestors. We who are here are being given the opportunity to heal ourselves and to heal the karma of our entire ancestral lineage. By healing and forgiving ourselves, we heal our entire line of family, our entire lineage. That is the power of this time now. We heal ourselves, but we heal everyone that came before and everyone that will come after, because we are changing, right? Adjustments are required. We are making those adjustments. We are setting the foundation for the next steps of our generations to come. And it will be one of love and one of compassion and one of light, as opposed to one of darkness, one of celebration instead of one of shame and sadness, right? It is time for Africa to celebrate. It is time for us to honor our melanin. Let me tell you an interesting point here that most people don't know. The most expensive commodity that can be bought at this time is melanin. So just think about that. First of all, where does this melanin come from? Where is it coming from? Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, it's coming from you. It's coming from you. Why do you think that Africa has been enslaved for as long as she has? Because we are the breadbasket of the entire planet. Civilization started in Africa and moved. The basis of the entire reality of this world comes from Africa. But our practices and our story was taken away from us. It is time for us to claim it back for ourselves and to honor. Why do you think that people are buying? Why do you think people are buying melanin? Because it is the most powerful thing. They say the people with the most melanin are the most spiritually tapped in. So the people who are going to be helped, again, this is all people of color, all people that are not 100% fully Caucasian. You have melanin running through your veins. And how is it that the minority of humanity has controlled? Why is it that people of color are called the minority and yet we are the majority? It is time that we reclaim our power. And as we do, things will change. The next card we have is Metamorphosis. I apologize for the sounds. I hope you can still hear me, but the next card we have is, yes, Metamorphosis. Embrace transformation. Things are now different. Yes, the more you embrace your power, you honor who you are, you no longer fear your strength and power. You are transforming. Embrace that you are changing. This is a good thing. As much as it might feel scary, as much as people are falling away, if you didn't check out last week's video, I highly recommend you watch it, because everything that is falling away is moving you in the direction that you are destined for. So trust the process and be clear, right? We are being given the opportunity to align ourselves. So many people say, oh, I want to be rich, I want to be famous, I want to have success, I want to whatever they say, but they are not aligned, which is why they're not there. Are your thoughts and actions aligned with what you say that you desire? Are you doing what you need to do to get there? Because it's all well and good to manifest it, but if you're not taking action, if you're not making those adjustments required, my friends, I'm sorry to tell you, you're going nowhere. You might as well just be walking backwards on an escalator. You're not moving, or you're moving, but it's going to require a lot of effort in order for you to get where you're going. So trust the process. The next card we have is Abundance. Numerology 1. The new beginning that is coming to you is abundance, fortune, wealth, plenty. Yes, I told you at the beginning. We are moving out of lack. We're moving out of the world where we have been told that there is not enough and that we must all be in lack mentality. There is plenty. As much as we are 8 billion people on the planet, there is so much space. People got out of the cities and stopped depending on this matrix system, stopped buying into the system, and realized that there are other ways to live. There are other ways to create your wealth and your fortune. And we are also being shifted to realize that money is not the only form of abundance. As the money systems crumble, new forms of currency are going to come in. And I truly believe, I keep seeing it, is that we are moving back towards our ancient practices. And we're going to be moving back into some kind of bartering system. I don't know what this is going to look like, but A bartering system is, it's going to be about the value we place on things as opposed to money. At the end of the day, money is just a fucking piece of paper with a number written on it. And when we move money from bank to bank, it's like I'm moving money, I'm just changing numbers from one screen to another screen. It's nothing tangible. So we are moving into a new state of abundance. Plenty of space. There is more than enough. But again, we have to learn how to live in harmony with nature. And as we live in harmony with nature, nature continues to provide the abundance of everything that we need. The next card we have is setting boundaries, threshold protection, honor. So again, this is the 3. This is the 3rd density. This is this physical reality. Let me tell you, my friends, we are going through spiritual warfare. Whether you believe this or not is fine. I'm not here to convince you. I'm simply here to share these messages. But we are literally experiencing spiritual warfare. And these setting of boundaries that we are being asked is we are being asked to put protective boundaries around us. There are so many people who I have been speaking to of late who have been talking to me about demonic possession. And this is something that I have not spoken about publicly, but this is something that I have a clear ability to see. This is somehow Spirit has been leading me in this direction to work with dark energies. And many, 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 many people are being possessed and attacked by these dark energies. If you are not protecting yourselves, I like to talk about the analogy of the leaky bathtub. We are filling of our cup, but every time we are, essentially what 2023 has been about is we are leaking up, we are plugging in the holes of our leaky bath. So the more we fill up our bath to see where there are still holes, because remember, everything that, wherever there is a hole, something can come out, but it also means that something can come into us. So even if we are putting ourselves in our protective energies and we are in alignment and we are stable and steady and grounded in our energy, if we are connecting to people who are not in alignment and who are opening themselves up to these darker energies can reach us through other people. So even if you are in a state of deep exhaustion, it is easier for these entities to come and take over your vessel. So it is imperative. And essentially what we have been given the opportunity is we are being given the opportunity to choose. Are we moving? Are we staying in the darkness? Or are we moving into the light? Because right now we can no longer be in between. There is no more being in between. Essentially, as time continues, the separation is becoming more and more apparent. So you can choose to stay in the darkness or you can choose to move in the light. But if you wish to be of the light, you must let go of all the things that are connected to the darkness. And this message is very, very important because if you are connected to anything that is of the darkness, these dark energies will come for you. So we are being given the opportunity to protect ourselves, and the way to protect is to move away. We have to detach ourselves from the things that we have been taught are good but are actually coming from the darkness. So yes, this is how, if you protect yourself, God and the universe will continue to protect you also. The next card we have is partnership. Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. Yes, ensure that the partnerships that you are creating are of the highest benefit to all parties involved. Because if you are continuing to engage in partnerships that are not elevating you but are rather depleting you, if those relationships are not balanced, then remember, those energies are coming for you and they're draining you. And last of all, we have deservingness. Yes, are you deserving? Ask and you shall receive, but you have to believe that you are deserving. You are a beloved child of God, like everyone else, and you deserve to receive the support that will allow you to focus upon your divine life purpose. Even if you can't yet recognize your lovable qualities, trust that God and the angels can see how amazing you truly are. Yes, beautiful souls. Trust and believe that everything that is destined for you is rightfully yours. You are claiming your birthright, but you must first allow yourself to see how you are so deserving of these changes. So this message has got a little bit long. I apologize for that, but please share this video with whoever you feel may benefit from it. Please like the video if you resonated with this message, and please comment down below and let me know how you're doing and if these messages apply to you. So I'm sending you much love, wishing you lots of luck as you continue your journey of healing and transformation. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.